right, this one's going to be slow, pastoral, and tender in the way that sneaks up on you, Artist Chief. The kind of story that smells like hay and oil paint and lingers long after it's done. Where the fields meet color. The road to the farm was narrower than the painter expected. It wound gently through rolling land, flanked by tall grass and wildflowers that bent lazily in the afternoon breeze. The sky stretched wide and patient above it all, blue softened by thin clouds that looked like brushstrokes left unfinished. With every mile, the noise of the town fell farther away, replaced by quiet things. Birdsong, wind, the distant lowing of cattle. The painter slowed the car instinctively. There was something about this place that asked for it. They had come because they needed space, away from the cramped studio, away from the sameness of walls and sidewalks and the pressure of producing something meaningful on command. Someone had mentioned the farm almost offhandedly. You could stay there, help out a little, it's quiet. Quiet sounded like salvation. The farmhouse came into view at the end of the road, sturdy and sun-worn, its paint faded but proud. A barn stood nearby, red dulled by years of weather, doors thrown open like an invitation. Fields stretched beyond it all, green and gold layered together, alive with movement. And there by the fence stood the farmer. They were leaning casually, forearms resting on the wood, hat pushed back just enough to reveal a face shaped by sun and patience. They watched the approaching car with calm curiosity, not rushing, not retreating. When the painter stepped out, the farmer smiled. Not a big smile, a real one. "You made it," the farmer said, voice warm and steady, like they already knew the answer. "I think so," the painter replied, suddenly aware of how city-soft they felt. "I hope this is still okay." "Course it is," the farmer said easily. "We don't get many painters out this way. Come on, I'll show you around." They walked together across packed earth, boots and shoes, finding a rhythm despite their differences. The painter noticed things immediately. The way the farmer moved with the land, how their hands, broad, capable, touched gates and doors with familiarity, like greeting old friends. The tour was simple. The barn, the fields, the vegetable garden bursting with late-season life. Chickens clucked indignantly as they passed. "You can paint wherever you like," the farmer said, "just don't block the tractor." "I'll do my best," the painter laughed. Days unfolded quietly after that. The painter set up near the edge of the fields, easel planted firmly in the grass. They painted the way light pooled in the mornings, the way shadows stretched long and thoughtful in the evenings. They painted the barn, the fence, the wide sky, but somehow, without planning to, they kept painting the farmer too. Not directly, not at first. Just hints, a suggestion of posture, a familiar angle of shoulder, the presence of someone who belonged here. The farmer noticed, of course. They'd pause while working, resting against a fence or wiping sweat from their brow, watching the painter work with an expression somewhere between curiosity and amusement. "You always look so serious when you're doing that," the farmer said one afternoon. The painter glanced up, surprised. "Do I?" "Like you're trying to solve a mystery." The painter smiled. "Maybe I am." They talked more as the days passed. Over shared lunches eaten in the shade. Over evenings when the sky burned orange and pink and the farmer leaned against the porch rail, listening as the painter spoke about color theory and the way emotions lived in shadows. The farmer didn't pretend to understand everything, but they listened, really listened. And in return, they talked about the land, about knowing rain before it came, about the satisfaction of planting something small and watching it grow strong. The painter found themselves looking forward to those conversations more than the painting itself. One evening, the air turned cool faster than expected. The painter had stayed out late, chasing the last of the light, fingers stained with pigment, mind deep in concentration. "Hey," the farmer called gently from behind. "You're going to freeze out here." "I almost have it," the painter said absently. The farmer stepped closer, peering at the canvas. "That's the field by the creek, isn't it?" The painter nodded. "The way it looks right before sunset, it feels like it's holding its breath." The farmer was quiet for a moment, then softly, "I never thought of it like that." They stood closer than usual now, shoulders nearly touching. The painter was suddenly acutely aware of the farmer's warmth, the scent of earth and clean sweat, the way their presence felt grounding. "You see things," the farmer said, "makes me feel like I should look harder." The painter turned to them, surprised by the honesty in the words. Their eyes met and lingered. The breeze rustled through the grass. Somewhere a bird settled for the night. Neither of them moved away. "I like it here," the painter said quietly, "more than I expected." "I'm glad," the farmer replied. "I like having you here." The words settled between them, gentle and heavy all at once. The painter's heart beat a little faster. They hadn't planned this, hadn't come looking for anything except solitude, but something about this place, about this person, had quietly rearranged their expectations. The farmer lifted a hand, hesitating for just a moment, as if giving the painter time to step back. They didn't. Instead, the painter leaned in slightly, closing the last of the distance without fully committing. A question, not an answer. The farmer smiled, soft and certain, and bridged the rest. The kiss was unhurried. Their lips met gently, naturally, like they'd simply found the place they were meant to rest. It tasted of the day, of air and effort and something unspoken. The painter felt it all the way down to their toes, a warmth spreading slowly, steadily. The farmer's hand came to rest lightly at the painter's back, not pulling, just there, present. The painter's fingers curled into the farmer's shirt, grounding themselves in the reality of it. They pulled back only slightly, foreheads touching, breathing the same quiet air. "That was," the painter began, then smiled, unable to finish. The farmer chuckled softly. "Yeah." They didn't kiss again right away. Instead, they stood there together as the sun finally dipped below the horizon, the fields darkening into blue and gold shadows. The painter rested their head briefly against the farmer's shoulder, and the farmer didn't move away. Later, when the painter returned to their canvas, they added something new. Not the farmer's face, not their form, but warmth. A subtle glow in the field, like the land itself was holding onto something special. And every time the painter looked at it, they remembered that first kiss, simple, sincere, rooted in the quiet certainty that sometimes, when art meets earth, something beautiful grows.